Hello lads and welcome back to another YouTube video back here, and today I will talk about 5 wonder kids that you must sign on Football Manager 22. There are some players on this list that will require lots of money, but also some that you can sign for almost any club and for a very cheap price. Let's get straight into it with number 1. Starting off with the first one, we have Crystal Palace left back Dayo Daramola. The 17-year-old begins off in the under-23 team, however for a mid-table or low-end Premier League team would quickly be a 2-star player and ready for a run out in the first team. The very high-potential Irishman has brilliant pace and agility and good crossing dribbling, and 13 fins hing for the left-back who can be trained to play as high up as left-winger. Crystal Palace could be reluctant to sell for low, so be prepared to spend at least $1 million on him, however the club do usually look to loan him out in the first season. A brilliant young prospect who isn't spoken about enough in this year's game. Next at number 2 I have what I think in my opinion is the best wonder kid on this year's game, and I have heard no hype about him. 15-year-old FC Copenhagen winger Roony Bardghji begins at 3 stars for Copenhagen and 2.5 stars for most Premier League teams outside the usual top 6. His stats are absolutely insane for his age. Unfortunately, if you are managing in England, I believe you will not be able to use this guy until he turns 17 or 18, but trust me, it will be worth the 2-year wait, as the Swedish left-footed right winger has 5-star potential and with the right coaching could become one of the best in the world. He is very well rounded and can also be trained to play not only at right wing, or attacking midfielder, but also as a striker with his 13 finishing and 12 pace. Hayes valued between 5 million and 10 million, but you could get him for far less if you take advantage of monthly installments or sale percentages. A lovely little player for your save game. The third player on this list is 17-year-old Middlesbrough player Callum Kavanagh. Another Irishman on this list. The striker, who can also be trained to play left winger or attacking midfielder, begins off on loan at League 2 club Harrogate from Middlesbrough under 23, so unfortunately unless you are indeed Harrogate manager then you will not be able to use Callum in your first season, but with his incredible 5-star ability he is one for the future of your save game. Some of his notable attributes, as you can see on screen right now, include 12 finishing, and standing at 6 feet tall, 11 jumping reach and 11 heading. He is a player that I am yet to use on this year's Football Manager game, but I will definitely be using this 17-year-old soon. And so should you. Next is a player who will certainly be on the more expensive side of things, but it's worth it. Here is 18-year-old Salzburg striker Benjamin Sesko. In real life this guy is an absolute baller, bagging goals in the Austrian First Division at such a young age. The Slovenian international is in terms of ability certainly the most talented player in this video and is a fan favorite with his 5-star ability. He is a very physical player but also lethal in front of goal with, as you can see here, 13 finishing at 18 years old. I have used Sesko a lot on this year's game, and on my save with Crystal Palace Football Club I bought him in when I qualified for Europe 2 seasons in, and he was by far the most talented player on the team and scored over 30 total goals in all competitions in that first season. As mentioned before, he does not come cheap and easy to get, and you may need to be a club at the standard of minimum low-end Premier League team in order to pull this signing off, and be prepared to spend at least 10 million on this incredible striker. And finally, the fifth and final player on this list of hidden gems in Football Manager 22 is Solihull striker Kyle Hudlin. He is definitely the cheapest player on this list, and at first glance it may appear that his attributes do not amaze you in any way, however he is here for a special reason, and that reason is that he stands at an incredible 6 feet 9 inches tall. He is in real life the tallest professional outfield player in England, and on Football Manager he is the tallest player in the game. With his unbelievable height also comes with unbelievable attributes such as 12 heading and 20 jumping reach, with a cheeky 12 finishing too for the 21-year-old. This guy is potentially one of the most used player for anyone who has played the game this year because he is ridiculously overpowered. You could play him at any level, and because of his height, if you do your corner tactics correctly, he will score so many goals regardless of if it is the Vanarama National League or even as high as the Premier League. He begins as 1.5 star if you bring him to the Championship or Premier League, but that should not stop you from giving Kyle Hudlin game time. The crazy thing is that Solihull in the game do not rate him highly, so you can pick him up for as cheap as 30k and even loan him in if you are playing as a club that does not even have 30k. So I hope it was worth the wait for this striker, and you should definitely consider using him if you haven't already. On to the outro. So that is that for 5 hidden gems and wonder kids that you should definitely sign to your club on Football Manager 22. If you want to see any more of these videos, please tell me in the comments, as I have lots more players to recommend. Also comment if you want to see me start a Football Manager 2022 save managing a club. Lastly, it would mean a lot for you to take a second to like and subscribe. Have a good one lads, goodbye.